Hi. Continuing on our series on how to be assertive, and we're also trying to be assertive to make sure that not just how we handle people in society around us, but also to keep away things that are not working in our benefit, like social media, whatever social media pushes on us, or what advertisements push on us, or even some people who try to take advantage of to make things work in their favor. They may not be really people we do not know, they may be acquaintances or friends, but how do we make sure that we can work towards our well-being, we work towards what we believe is right and what is good for us. Okay, so now continuing on this, when I picked up this point about assertiveness in staying in here and now, okay, staying in the present, the very important part of being assertive, to know that I am here and present and this what is my situation around me right now. Okay, so when I thought about this, I was quickly reminded of somebody I knew, a youngster I knew many years back, almost 12-15 years back, who told me that after his college, what did he want to do 10 years from then? What he wanted to do was to hold a very high position in the US government. So then, to my question of how would he make sure that he is a citizen by then, because for getting into government you need to be a citizen, right? And so his calculations were, okay, I'm doing this degree right now, and after that 2 more years of higher education, and then I'll go abroad and I'll work for these 10 number of years, and by then I should be a citizen, and then I should be able to get into their get into a government position. So there was a lot of calculations what I would do. So okay, what would you do after that? So what would you do after you get into the government position? And the answer was that that's going to be a relaxed life. Once I'm there in that position, then I can really rest. I mean, I'll have everything in my hand. And so there was a lot of calculation forward. Okay, this is about one youngster. Now, how often do we hear? I have heard many times, not just as my as a part of my profession, but also as colleagues and friends whom I have known, who say that, okay, I'm going to work till the age of 28 or 35 and then I'm going to retire. What do you do after retiring? I'm just going to make a small house somewhere and just live off what I would have earned. So to make sure that I have to earn a lot, and then after 28 or whatever the age, I'm going to relax. So, and today, now when I look back at those people, there's a lot of frustration, not making a very generalized statement, but something like that. Okay, so in each of these cases that I mentioned just now, these are people who were living in the future. Okay, so what would I do after that? How would I want to be after that? What is my situation right now, or what is it that I should do right now was not there in the goal system that the people had. So while it is very good for us to have goals which are really far, that those what we call as long-term goals, we also need to have intermediate goals and very short-term goals. What is it I need to do right now? And each of these goals are long-term goals, intermediate goals, and our very short-term goals need to be smart. You know what we call smart goals: specific, measurable, achievable, R is reliable, relevant, and T is time bound. So you need to have a time bound thing as to what, and in all this it brings us back to being here and now. What is it that I have now, and what is it that I need to do now? And this training to bring ourselves back into what is it for me now. So when people get very anxious, what do you think is happening? They're going into the past. What happened last time, and because of which what can happen later? Anxiety. Okay, now if I'm preparing for a test, oh God, in the test exam, very often children tell me, ma'am, I had studied everything, but what I wasn't able to perform, I blanked out. Why would you blank out? Now if you go into details of why did you blank out, would often result in an answer which would say that I had a history of something I had studied and not remembered, and when the results came, it was not good. Why were the results not good? Because something happened. Why is it worrying you now? Because at that time that happened, now it should not worry me. You see, so there is no present here. There is something happened in the past, and therefore something might happen. Each of these things are either in the past or in the future. Therefore, this training of being in the here and now, what is it right now that I have? What is it that I need to do right now with the resources that I have, with the resources in terms of people, facilities, awareness, everything, with the kind of resources that I have right now, with what I have around me. would help you in being assertive. Because when you're, how would that work? When you're, in a situation where you need to make a choice, how do I respond? How do I take this forward? That is when we need to show assertiveness, right? And when we are in this situation where we need, how do I take it forward? If I can assess if I'm used to assessing my surrounding, what is it that I have? What should I, in this situation, how should I respond? What is it in it for me? If I make this practice of doing this, then I'll definitely be able to be assertive I'll be able to figure out what is it that will work in my benefit right now. If in the past, if I said something like this and it didn't work out, is the past. If I do like this, if they don't like me tomorrow, that's future. So practicing to be in the here and now is a very important part of being assertive. Okay, so let's start practicing it today, to be here and now in every action that we do. All right, so all the best. So until then, ciao. This bird is